I'm gonna review Last Night in Soho as if I'm pitching it. A young lady from a small town who is obsessed with the glamour of 1960s London moves to the big city of London thinking that all of her dreams are gonna come true and it's gonna be like a fairy tale. She discovers, however, that it is by and large a corrupt place. What's more, she has a sixth sense and starts having visions of a life that someone lived in the 60s who had the same experience as her. It's the story of the transition from childlike innocence and excitement to adult cynicism and bitterness. In addition, it comments on how we might view the past as having been better or more pure or innocent. Whereas, and in this case, there was a lot of ugliness. There was an equal amount of ugliness in the 60s as there is now or ever has been. The narrative includes a whodunit mystery as well as ghosts and other supernatural things and thrills. It's a thriller of sorts. So this movie has the potential to appeal to almost everybody, because almost everybody has had that childhood innocence, childlike innocence, where they thought that, oh, I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to get a million followers right away. Oh, I'm going to move to the big city and I'm going to be an instant star. Oh, I was very popular in high school, so I'm going to be equally popular when I get into the big pond. I was a big fish in a small pond, and then when I move to the big pond, I find out I'm actually a tiny fish, and it's a huge ass pond. I live in Toronto, and I've known a lot of people who have come to Toronto thinking that they're going to be instant successes as actors or whatever, and then only to find out how hard it really is, and only for them to end up going back to their small towns. Now for my review of the actual execution of the film. Okay, so it's beautiful to look at. It starts out very much like a fairy tale, very positive. She's all excited and innocent, and it's all very happy. And when you meet the lady from the 60s, whose life she's living, she's experiencing, that's also very magical and positive. But then it very abruptly turns very dark. I'm not going to really spoil anything, and I don't really have to, because we all know all the dark things that happen in big cities, and that's exactly what is experienced in this movie. The murder mystery whodunit element I felt tacked on and unnecessary. I feel like it brought the movie down from where it was. Like, it could have been a deeper, better, more pure story, but then it just had some kind of contrived murder mystery blah blah. Instead of the whole murder mystery thing that's going on, I think the third act, because the first two acts are very good, the third act could have been something like the girl from the present rescuing the girl from the past and changing the girl from the past's life so that she achieves the fairy tale life that she was dreaming of. But instead you get a movie where it starts out really happy and positive, it quickly turns very negative and nasty, and kind of just continues negative and nasty, and ends on a kind of a negative and nasty note, which I think is kind of unbalanced. I think they could have done a lot with her 60s nostalgia, and they could have tied that into the plot of her actual current life, but it's a completely separate plot to her life. There should have been more of a connection between the two ideas of people thinking that the past was better and people thinking that the big city is better. I think it's worth watching. I just don't think it's worth watching twice. The director, Edgar Wright, he made Shaun of the Dead, which I was not impressed with. I thought it was cheesy, bad humor. And he made Scott Pilgrim, which was really good the first time I saw it, but then on second viewing, it's just cheesy. It's not that good. So I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It's a good movie. It's just not a great movie. And that is all for today. If you support gays, click like. If you respect blacks, comment. If you think women are people too, click the notification bell. And if you care about sick children, subscribe.